A little rusty getting out of the gate here. Just ready to go. This is Geek News Central. My name is Todd Cochran, coming to you from the new media production studio. Tonight's top stories include the following. Nothing says refreshing like a can of cup of noodle ramen flavored soda. Did that just make you throw up in your mouth? What to expect from Apple's iPhone 13 event. What to expect from Microsoft's Surface event. They're all having events. And of course, the Attorney General expands Amazon lawsuit and include wholesaler pricing tactics. They're not calling it fixing. But I want to welcome you to episode 1553 of the Geek News Central podcast for Monday, September 13th. This show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com and listeners just like you. Great deals from GoDaddy can be found at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. You can support this show today at geeknewscentral.com/insider. I want to give a warm welcome to all the new listeners of the show. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking it out for the very first time. And if you get a chance, we want you to make sure you get over to geeknewscentral.com. And when you're on the website, you can subscribe to the podcast or get connected up with the newsletter as well. The newsletter contains everything that I'm going to talk about today, delivered directly to your inbox. It's not a chit-chat newsletter or anything like that. It's just a one-way send. So sign up for that. As long as you subscribe to the show, you'll never miss a single episode. Of course, you can always join our chat room at geeknews.chat or our Discord server, which is available via the link in the show notes on the main page at geeknewscentral.com. Of course, you can always contact me via email, geeknews@gmail.com, geeknews@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter at Geek News. Of course, you can follow me, Todd Cochran, on Facebook. All my partner shows are linked on the main website. Includes the new media show, The Gadget Professor, the Podcast Legends, GNC Live, GNC Week in Review. So definitely check out those shows. Get subscribed to them. Don't miss a single episode of any of our partner shows. Of course, this podcast is sponsored by the longest running continuous sponsor of a podcast. That's our good friends over at GoDaddy.com. We got lots of deals for you. Lots of ways to save money. And of course, September is no different in saving money with GoDaddy. Whether you want 30% off new product purchases, a $4.99.com or newer transfer domains, $1 a month economy hosting for the first year of the free domain, or $1 a month managed WordPress hosting for the first year of the free domain. The two absolute best deals in the podcasting ecosphere. So check all those out. And of course, you can get a free trial of GoDaddy Website Builder, your choice of personal business or business plus plans, all available at geeknewscentral.com/GoDaddy. I want to thank GoDaddy for being a longtime sponsor here at the Geek News Central podcast as well. Definitely appreciate their ongoing support and hope that you'll support them because they take care of me. And it's always important to do that. Okay, so what's happening? Well, a lot's going on. To be honest with you, today I was weirded out just a little bit. I had to go over to T-Mobile for just a short run. I had to go over there and talk to them about something that's going on with, because we switched to T-Mobile for our company's phones. So I was over there talking to them, and I came out and as I was getting in my car, I kind of noticed out of the corner of my eye, it looked like someone taking a picture of me. And I kind of turned and looked as I closed my door. And it was like some guy 3 or 4 cars down took a picture. And I wasn't 100% sure. He kind of acted like he wasn't taking a picture of me. And I just had that feeling that someone had done that. And then as I backed out of the parking stall and went by, he turned around and definitely took a picture of my vehicle as I was driving past. And now I'm kind of on to what's going on, and I'm like, that's just weird. Never, ever have I ever had someone take a picture like that. So I kind of whipped around in a parking lot, and the individual walked into a Dollar General. I don't think he's seen me do the swing around, but it weirded me out enough that I took a picture of his license plates of his vehicle. I don't know if it's case in my car or what. It was just a little, or it was a little weird. And it's just one of those things that's never happened to me. And I just thought I thought it was odd. And I didn't recognize who it was, didn't recognize the vehicle. But I've got it on my phone. I've told you. I've told some family members. So you guys know, and I know, and so that's the way it goes. But yeah, and I didn't really want to confront someone. Maybe they liked the car. It was just a little odd, especially when the person turned around from a passenger side and took a picture of me as I was passing by. And it weirded me out in a significant way. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. My car comes up missing. I'll have a good suspect of who, or, if worse, something happens. You guys, I've told it here. Here at the studio tomorrow, the pharmacy opens next door. They were supposed to open a couple weeks ago, but they're doing their soft open tomorrow. And one of the workers came by my office and knocked on the door. And I'd had my door locked all day because of just being a little bit freaked out about someone taking a picture of me. And he handed me two discount cards. So if anybody is here in Coldwater and wants a pre-roll, you get a free pre-roll with a $20 with a $20 purchase. So she'd hand these out, and I'm kind of like, okay, thanks. And so they're having their opening tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. Took some time, a couple hours yesterday afternoon, cleaned my loft. Not too insane, but enough to make it look like it hadn't, looked like a human being actually lived there instead of just threw stuff around there. So just, it's part of that, trying to make sure that you live a little bit, right? And not live with so much dirt. I do want to thank Michael Dare. He sent me a care package, and he sent me something that helps me detox. And so, Michael, I will say it is an interesting concoction, for a better word. And I will advise everyone as it goes, but it's kind of an interesting taste. I don't want to go into too much details here. I will probably share with you guys later what it is, but it's part of helps me detox. So that is kind of what Michael sent me, and sent me a little care package. So I do appreciate it. Michael, I appreciate you thinking about my health as well. And of course, all the family here for your ongoing comments. Thank you so much too. Okay, so what's happening in the tech space? Well, there's a lot. Kirk did a great job getting the show prepped today and getting us around for it. Last Friday's show or Thursday's show was kind of weird, I know. So it just was one of those things where really I come off a hard 2 weeks, really a hard 2 weeks. And just the circumstances of not getting access to the show prep early and everything else, threw that show together kind of quickly, and hope it wasn't too big of a train wreck. But and this is episode 1553. I was off on my count last week. I wish we were higher, but it is the way it is. But anyway, thanks for everyone being here. Thanks for being part of our family. You know, I talked about you guys down at Dragon Con and about defining moments of when you knew your podcast audience was different. It goes all the way back to episode 200 for those of you that were here for that day, and the resulting response to what happened or didn't happen on episode 200, or what did happen and why it got delayed and all that. So for those of you that are not in the loop on what happened that day, you can go back and listen to episode 200. That was many moons ago, but it's one of those defining moments of this audience. I talked to you guys quite emotionally about that at Dragon Con to a panel of people that were listening to us talk about podcasting and defining moments and that kind of stuff. So, all right, so let me go ahead and bring in the stack. And if you're watching via Facebook, please say hello. Don't be afraid to do so. You can just go ahead and check in. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, wherever you're watching, thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the podcast. It's glad. I'm just absolutely thrilled to be back with you, those of you live, and the rest of you, of course. Thanks for listening via follower subscriptions. So this article just about made me gag, and you know, I'll be the first to admit I'll eat a cup of noodle once in a while. I probably have 4 or 5 of them in my cupboard for emergency food, and you know, it can't get away from it. I've ate a lot of Japanese noodles over the years, fresh and regurgitated, and some that's had to be boiled, and you know, everything goes into making a cup of noodle, right? Well, I think the ramen noodle broth, if you want to call it that, isn't too bad. I like the chicken flavor. I don't like the shrimp. So when I saw this story, it really kind of made me gag a little bit because I can't imagine this. Want to quench your thirst? How about a nice big sip of ramen-flavored soda? Japan-based Nissan Foods is celebrating the 50th anniversary of its cup noodle instant noodle soup this month by selling 4 flavors of ramen-flavored carbonated soda, as well as a tweet from the company. There's a basic cup noodle soda, a seafood-accented cream soda, and a curry-accented cola, and a chili tomato soda. And I'm sure they are very delicious. The Japanese always do it very well. I don't know if I can order any of these. There is a link to an Amazon store link. I don't know if I'm going to be able to order these here in the United States. Let's see here. Do they show the... You're showing items to ship to the U.S. See items that ship to... Don't change. I don't want to change my address. So I don't think I can get this here. This isn't the actual... Oh, there it is. There's the sodas for those of you watching. Temporary out of stock. They sold out. So don't think I'll be ordering this anytime soon, but I just thought it was very interesting that they were introducing this, and someone in Japan can tell me whether or not they were tasty or not. All right, tomorrow's a big day. What to expect from the Apple iPhone 13 event. So Apple's, and why they didn't do this on the 13th today, I don't know. But Apple's first fall event is coming up Tuesday, September 14th at 1 p.m., right around the time when the company typically introduces its latest version of the iPhone. Tuesday's announcements will be entirely digital in this slick, overproduced style that's become Apple's trademark during the pandemic. Rumors suggest that potential less dramatic set of announcements compared to the iPhone 12. It does seem like the Apple Watch and AirPods could get some serious attention. Keep reading below, they say, on what's going to happen. The rumor suggests iPhone 13 will look a lot like the iPhone 12, but with a possibly smaller notch, higher refresh rates. Those could include a low-temperature polycrystalline oxide display like Apple used to provide variable refreshes on the Apple Watch. What's honestly what I would think would be very cool is if they announced the the Apple processor. In other words, the whatever their M chip is, I think it's called M1, M2, whatever it's called. If they would introduce that into the MacBook Pro, it's going to be another. If they announce that, I might actually start looking at one of those. But I'm not buying a new MacBook until they have the Mac version with the Mac chip, with the Apple chip in it. And I don't know if that's going to drop tomorrow or not, but they're definitely going to be talking about the Apple Watch Series 7. Might get a more involved redesign. And, of course, we're probably going to talk about some software as well. And we'll see. Maybe something to do with iPads. It's hard to say. Time will tell what's announced tomorrow. But it's probably be a phone event. But Apple always has one more thing up its sleeve. Hey, Kirk, welcome to the live. Thanks for watching the work. Hey, Richard. Hi, Laura. Hi, Toby. Thanks for being here. Thanks for saying hello. Thanks for being part of the family. Next up, of course, is Microsoft Surface. I know some of you that listen to the show are big Microsoft Surface fans. So Microsoft is holding a Surface event on September 22nd, where the company will talk about devices in Windows 11. With Windows 11 set to debut October 5th, we're expecting to see 4 new Surface devices showcasing all the latest software features in the new OS. And it won't be all Windows 11, though. Microsoft will also launch a second version of its Surface Dual Android-powered foldable device. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes. I've seen some of these Surfaces in work. Sometimes I'm seeing them appear on TVs. It appears like there's either the Surface crowd or there's the Mac crowd. And that's probably pretty much what I see on a lot of live streaming, a lot of television programming. But Microsoft is alive and well with Windows 11. It's hard to believe it doesn't seem like it's been a long time, I guess, since Windows 10, right? So Windows 11 is upon us. And I've got, how many Windows machines do I still have? I've got one here on the left. This one never gets an upgrade because that's the TriCaster. So probably just one machine for me to upgrade to Windows 11 when that happens. So time will tell. And I may not even upgrade it, to be honest with you. It just does stuff for the show. It's not like a heavy lifter at all. So let's talk a little bit about Amazon. Washington, D.C. Attorney General Carl Racine has filed an amended antitrust lawsuit against Amazon. He accused Amazon of strong-arming wholesalers that provide it with products into anti-competitive agreements and making them subsidize lower prices. The AG contends that Amazon requires a guarantee from wholesalers that it will make a minimum profit when it buys and resells their product. Those details enable Amazon to undercut competitors' pricing and force wholesalers to pay the difference for lost profit margins. Racine claims that Amazon's minimum margin agreement, MMA, prompts wholesalers to charge more for goods elsewhere to cover those costs, making it more difficult for other e-commerce platforms to compete against Amazon prices. The MMA leads to higher prices and less choices for consumers, according to Racine, as well as a reduced level of competition and innovation among online marketplaces. The Amazon brand, the Amazon line, by Amazon, Amazon Essentials, that type of stuff, those are often, again, those are products that are designed to really make an impact on other vendors that sell very, very similar products and services. How many of you have switched from buying Eveready, Rayovac, or Energizer, batteries? Instead, you buy Amazon batteries. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think the Amazon batteries, the Amazon Essential batteries, are as good as an Energizer. So you pay more for Energizers, and you get probably longer life out of them, but the pricing Amazon puts on their products makes it so tempting, but I don't think from a head-to-head comparison, there is any comparison. The Energizer Bunny continues to, outperform many other batteries. It's just like that with everything else. Envelopes, paper, you name it, this basic stuff that we buy day in and day out that we need for our offices, for work, for school, or whatever it may be. It's just easy to go the Amazon Essential route because it always is cheaper. Now, this doesn't always tie into the MMA pricing, but a lot of it does. And I would hate to be told how much my profit, let's say it cost me $10 to make something. And I normally sell that for a 30% markup. And let's say that's, let's just use some, raw numbers. It's $13 wholesale and a retail. And Amazon says, no, you've got to give it to me for 11. We're going to sell it for 12 to undercut everyone else. So you only make $1. So you're not making as much profit margin. So like they said, you have to go put your product on the market somewhere else, maybe under a different brand name altogether, and charge 13 for it, and you've undercut yourself everywhere else. It just doesn't make any sense. So I understand where they're coming at this from an antitrust standpoint. And so we'll see where this goes. Does it mean we're going to have to pay a little bit more for things at Amazon? Yep. But, they've built themselves into a monopoly here. I still try to go buy local, but they make it so hard. So hard because the pricing is never comparable. And with shipping and everything, that's pretty amazing. Now, on the science front, this one's pretty wild. A CRISPR, CRISPR startup wants to create a woolly mammoth hybrid by 2027. Yes, you heard me right. A woolly mammoth hybrid. Colossal will attempt to birth baby mammoths in the next 4 to 6 years. They want to bring the woolly mammoth back from extinction. CRISPR, a revolutionary gene editing technology, is going to be used to do it. The plan isn't to recreate a true woolly mammoth exactly, but rather to bring their cold-adapted genetic traits like small ears and more body fat to their elephant cousins, creating a hybrid that can wander the tundra where mammoths haven't seen for 10,000 years. Colossus co-founders, who started 5 companies before this, is going to be basically they're in this for a penny and they're in for a pound. It just seems a little weird for me. Our true North Star is successful restoration of the woolly mammoth, but also its successful rewilding into interbreeding herds into Arctic. We're now focusing on having our first calves in the next 4 to 6 years. Is this going to help the planet? Or is this going to upset things? Do they become the top predator? I'm just, this kind of thing makes you go, just a little bit. The pipeline of large-scale genome engineering techniques can be applied to many applications beyond de-extinction, and therefore are most promising for commercialization. One technology right for commercialization is multiplex genome engineering, a technique church helped develop that speeds genetic editing by making multiple changes to DNA at once. So, all right, they're going to do this on some DNA that will hopefully turn into something of a woolly mammoth look-alike. When do they start doing this on humans? It's kind of scary, isn't it? Are we going to end up with a Jurassic Park thing going on here? Is species de-extinction a good idea? There's appeal to the idea of de-extinction. We can say humans have altered the planet by making some species extinct, but do we need to bring back some of those species? Is it going to help us? Pollinators, something where we've lost some ability that was where animals were pollinators. Would that help us? It's interesting to see where this is going to go. What say you? geeknews@gmail.com is the email address to check out. Also, if you're in Walmart, and I went into Walmart the other day for the first time in a long time because I was in there getting a prescription. and I needed milk. So I ran to the back. Of course, milk's always in the absolute back of the store. Picked up some milk, picked up some Sam's water, which is interesting because their bottles are thicker and heavier than any other water bottle I've ever seen. Still can't find Nestle water anywhere. But anyway, long story short, the milk from Walmart, and I red cap, okay, sue me. For some reason, the red cap milk from Walmart and the red cap milk from Meijer tastes just a little different. And I've never experienced that where there was a distinct change in taste. I definitely prefer Meijer brand red label whole milk over over Walmart's. I just don't know what quite the difference is, but there's just enough. Anybody's experienced that, or am I just completely whacked? But T-Mobile's coming to over 2,300 Walmart stores and its website starting October 18th. You can buy a smartphone T-Mobile while shopping at Walmart. Well, if they have them in stock, good luck. No one has anything in stock, so they might be able to order you a phone. If you're able to get a phone at a kiosk, then good luck. The DoD seeks nuclear propulsion for small spacecraft. Yes, you heard me right. The Defense Department seeks nuclear propulsion for small spacecraft. The U.S. Department of Defense has ambitions beyond Earth. To screw a little clear, Space News has learned the department recently put out a call for privately made nuclear propulsion systems that could power small and mid-sized spacecraft. The DoD wants to launch missions venturing beyond Earth orbit, and existing electric and solar spacecraft are neither suitable for the job nor suitable to smaller vehicles. The nuclear propulsion system will ideally offer high delta V above 33 feet per second while scaling down to less than 2,000 kilograms in dry mass, 4,400 pounds on Earth. On top of providing electricity for the payload, the technology will hopefully keep the spacecraft warm when in shadow and minimize radiation both on the ground and to other components. Responses are expected by September 23rd, with contracts handed out, listen to this, as quickly as 60 to 90 days. What is going on? Why does the DoD, now think about this, why does the DoD need nuclear propulsion for high delta V above 33 feet per second on a spacecraft that has a dry mass of 4,400 pounds on Earth? Officials acknowledged they were making the request as a matter of expediency. 60 to 90 days? Nothing happens in 60 to 90 days in the DoD. Officials deny they're making a request as a matter of expediency. NASA and other agencies are already developing or backing nuclear spacecraft, but those won't be ready for a long while. The DoD is hoping for a prototype within 3 to 5 years. This technology would serve as a stopgap that puts nuclear propulsion into service relatively quickly for near-term projects. Where do they want to go? And why? DoD, why do they need to go somewhere? So let's think about this. The DoD puts up satellites in our orbit around Earth to do what? They have spy satellites. They have reconnaissance camera satellites, all that stuff, right? Communication satellites. Why do they need a propulsion system to go somewhere in a hurry? The DoD is frustrated by the limitation of the existing spacecraft engines and wants a fast track to more powerful designs. There's something else going on, in my humble opinion. What say you? geeknews@gmail.com is the email address to send your comments. A Dutch court has found Uber drivers and their employees. So that puts a big impact. They've lost another legal challenge in Europe. The court in Amsterdam in the Netherlands has ruled that drivers for Uber are employed rather than self-employed contractors. The court also found drivers are covered by an existing collective labor agreement in the country which pertains to taxi drivers, meaning Uber faces increased costs to comply with the agreement, which sets pay requirements and cover benefits like sick pay. The court also ordered Uber to pay 50,000 euros in court costs. The ride-hailing giant has some 4,000 drivers working on its platform in the Dutch capital. Europe's top court already ruled back in 2017 that Uber is a transport provider and must comply with local transport laws, so you'd be given some little more deja vu here. So we'll see what happens with Uber in the Netherlands. Google will soon let you place phone calls via Gmail. Oh, gee whiz. That's great. Google's latest update to its Workspace suite comes in the form of voice and video calls. You know, I'm honest with you. Most of my phone calls now are on Zoom. The majority of them. We have Zoom Enterprise, and when my phone rings, I answer via Zoom, the Zoom app, the Zoom app client. It's my phone rings as well because they double ring it, but I can answer right on my desktop, do a phone call, transfer people. It's fantastic. Who would have thought a small virtual business would be able to transfer to another employee as easy as this? It's actually a little dream come true. So someone calls, and I'm not the one I would check on. I go on Slack and say, hey, are you available? I'm sending a call your way. Transfer the call. It's perfect. It's like inter-office communications without being in the office. So Google's trying to catch up. So you'll be able to ring other Google users via Google Meet inside the Gmail app, although the features will also be available within Meet itself at a later date. Users will also be able to answer calls from the receiving end and join group video calls, regardless of whether those calls come from Hangouts or Meet. And while the update isn't available just yet, it will roll out to enterprise users within the next few weeks, presumably with everyone else to follow. So once again, we're bypassing, making other technologies irrelevant. General Motors is investing in radar software startup Oculi as demand for automated driving features rise. You think? I can't wait. I can't wait to get in my car and just say, hey, take me here. Or better yet, how about a drone? A little, one or two person drone. Be able to go a short distance. That's when things get exciting. But anyway, Oculi, a startup that aims to improve spatial resolution of radar sensors by up to 100 photos, scored a new investment from GM. And they had also closed a $55 million Series B round from other investors as well. But when a company like GM says this is great tech, boy, everyone's getting in line here. And they won't be on the market long. They'll be sucked up and rolled into some platform. Probably GM. Speaking of another car automaker, Ford has hired a new chief digital information officer as it seeks to expand into software and services. Now, Ford, I'm shocked they're this far behind. Because if you think about it, we spend a lot of time in our cars. And what do? We have these new digital dashboards, right? So why would not Ford want to take the use of that data, its software, and its tech to monetize further? Currently, I just had my car fixed here recently because the Wi-Fi module broke. I have AT&T wireless in my car. It's a very inexpensive to run on a year-to-year basis. It gets me over hump areas where I don't have connectivity. When T-Mobile drops out, usually AT&T picks up, so I have near continuous coverage in my vehicle. But why not have that go a step further? And, if they can save me some money on gas, if they can make a lot of money just by providing me information. I get off the highway and it says, okay, gas is 3 cents cheaper, a block down. I might drive a block to save 3 cents a gallon. And if they have some sort of relationship with some vendor, then they can make some more money beyond the cost of the vehicle or the earnings of the vehicle. So it just makes sense that they will do this. This gentleman will oversee a number of teams, including Ford tech and software platform function, its global data insight and analytics section. If you think about what they collect on us, they know how we drive, where we drive, how fast we drive, how much we brake, and so forth and so on. So anyway, we'll see where Ford goes with that. For those of you that are Android fans, Google may release Android 12 on October 4th. So they've been testing Android 12 in its developer preview and beta program for months. And if new reports is to believe, it could be as soon as October 4th. Of course, the official release is just the first step along the way to getting an update on existing phones. It could take much longer to get an update on your device if it ever happens at all, because the OEMs, the Samsungs of the world, are the one that actually will release Android 12 to you. Now, if you have a Pixel, you'll get it pretty quickly. And so we'll see where this goes. But therein lies the timeline. How many of you have a Kindle? Well, Amazon has given the Kindle interface a refresh. It's supposedly now easier to navigate. And I've been on a little bit of a reading binge lately. Of course, I used my iPad to read verses on a Kindle. I do have some appeal to the Kindle interface. I really do. The black and white and the texture of that screen is very, very, very appealing to me. But at the same time, I just can't justify having a single-use device. I know it's an Android device, but it just has a different textile feel, I guess is the better words. I'll stick with my iPad version, but it's awesome to have this full library accessible like it is now. So very, very cool. But if you love the Kindle, interface has got a refresh. The president has picked a privacy champion who wants to limit Biden's FTC pick as a privacy champion who wants limits on facial recognition. Nominee Alvaro Bedoya is a critic of surveillance who calls privacy a civil right. Well, this is a refreshing option. What's the catch? Bedoya is the founding director of the Georgetown Law Center on Privacy and Technology, where he is focused heavily on facial recognition and other forms of surveillance. He co-authored a 2016 report about unregulated police force recognition in America after a year-long investigation revealed that most American adults are enrolled in a police face recognition network and that the vendor companies were doing little to address the race and gender bias endemic to face scanning software. According to Bedoya's bio on the Georgetown Law website, the investigation led to congressional hearings as well as a slate of laws reining in the technology across the country. So if confirmed by the Senate, Bedoya would be part of a 3-2 Democratic majority at the FTC. The FTC currently has a full slate of 5 commissioners, but a spot will open up because Democratic Commissioner Rohit Chopra was nominated to become the director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So separately, the president still needs to nominate a Democrat to the FCC, which has been stuck in a 2-2 deadlock since the inauguration. Why hasn't he done that? Did he forget? He needs to nominate someone? It is kind of curious, isn't it? So we'll see. We'll see what this pick does and if he gets confirmed. This next story should not surprise any of you. There are the digital haves and the digital have-nots. Ars Technica has got a report on a leaked document. Listen to this. Listen to this. This leaked document reveals the special rules Facebook uses for 5.8 million VIPs. These people that are part of this special VIP can violate our standards without any consequences. So, Facebook had a problem on its hands. People were making posts that got caught in the company's automated moderation system, were taken down by its human moderators. The problem wasn't that the moderators, human or otherwise, were wrong. No, the problem was that the people behind the posts were famous or noteworthy, and the company didn't want a PR mess on its hands. So Facebook come up with a program called XCheck or Crosscheck, which in many instances became a de facto whitelist, which is, that word is not allowed to be used anymore. Over the years, XCheck has allowed celebrities, politicians, athletes, activists, journalists, and even the owners of animal influencers like Doug the Pug to post whatever they want with few to no consequences for violating the company rules. For a select few members of our community, we're not enforcing our policies and standards, read an internal Facebook report published as part of a Wall Street Journal investigation. Unlike the rest of our community, these people can violate our standards without any consequences. Few must be a relative term at Facebook. At least 5.8 million people have been enrolled in the program as of last year, many of them with significant followings. That means a large number of influential people are allowed to post largely unchecked on Facebook and Instagram. So, because they didn't want to deal with public relation fires, these people can post whatever they want. So, if you're going to put out misinformation about Rona and you're a celebrity, they say when prominent users are moderated, they can air the grievances with followers, creating a potential public relations headache. If the users are politicians, they might call for increased regulation of the platform. So rather than treat these elite users the same as everyone else, Facebook reportedly allows them to post whatever they like. If a post is flagged by an algorithm, it's sent to a different set of moderators, which the Wall Street Journal said are better trained full-time employees for review. I don't think the previous president was part of that cross-check list. Wow. Even in a case where the content is ultimately removed, Facebook has treated VIP users differently. In the documents reviewed by the Wall Street Journal, the case of Neymar, the Brazilian soccer player, stands out. In 2019, he posted a video to his Facebook and Instagram accounts that contained nude photos of a woman who accused him of rape. He claimed that she was extorting him. For normal users, posting non-consensual intimate images triggers a straightforward response. It is immediately deleted, and the person's account is deactivated. Instead, his video remained up for more than a day. Regular moderators couldn't touch it, and by the time it was taken down by the XCheck team, 56 million people had seen it. The video was reposted 6,000 times, and many commenters bullied and harassed the woman. Neymar denied the rape allegations and no charges were filed. But despite posting what Facebook called revenge porn, Neymar's account was not deleted. After escalating the case to our leadership, we decided to leave Neymar's account active, a departure from usual one-strike profile disable policy. So what do you think about this special list of 5.8 million VIPs? They can do whatever they want, looks like, on Facebook. Are we surprised? Nope, I don't think so. Facebook makes up their own rules, does what they want to do. They moderate content the way they want. They set an agenda. They set the language that comes across your news feed. Twitch has been seeing exodus of gamers. They've got a lot of problems going on over there right now. It's about money. It's about race. It's bad. Twitch is burning. The people are burning their accounts up. So Twitch had to respond. Twitch sued 2 users for harassing streamers with hate raids. And a hate raid is essentially someone that basically is targeting Black and LGBTQ streamers. It manifests in a unique Twitch phenomenon called a hate raid. On Twitch, creators regularly point viewers toward another friendly account after the stream concludes to boost the audience, a practice known as a raid. But a hate raid inverts the formula, sending swarms of bots to harass streamers who have inadequate tools at their disposal to block the influx of abuse. And it leverages Twitch's new tagging system, which originally was designed and was requested by many transgender users to make it easier to build community and discover content that resonate. So in May, Twitch added more than 350 new tags to help viewers sort streams by gender, sexual orientation, race, nationality, ability, mental health, and more. Accounts spreading abuse now use those tags to target racist, sexist, transphobic, and homophobic harassment towards streamers. Another unfortunate misuse of a tool explicitly designed to give creators a boost. So they went after only two people, and they're in the Netherlands and Austria. So good luck getting any. Why don't you just ban those accounts and then sue them? I don't understand. But Twitch has got a real problem right now. On a more happier note, SpaceX is about to send its first crew of private citizens to space. Another bellwether mission for building era of space tourism is lifting off this week. If everything goes right this Wednesday night aboard a SpaceX capsule. Boy, I tell you, I bet you they're going to make sure that Dragon's ready to go. Four people are set to launch Wednesday night aboard SpaceX capsule, and none of them are professional astronauts. Jared Isaacman, a billionaire entrepreneur and philanthropist, booked the Crew Dragon capsule last year and picked 3 normal folks to ride with him. Dubbed Inspiration 4, the mission is a multi-million-dollar fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And like a lot of recent flights to space, he says, an effort to convince those watching from the ground that space won't always be exclusive to government or rich people. Isaac's crew includes Haley Arcanox, I apologize if I pronounce her name, a cancer survivor and St. Jude's physician assistant, Sion Proctor, a geology professor and former NASA astronaut candidate, and Christopher Sembrowski, a data engineer at Lockheed Martin. So launch at 8:02 Eastern on Wednesday. They're going to go up about 80 miles. The mission's destination is about 80 miles higher than the International Space Station. In orbit, they will view Earth through 2 windows. The crew will re-enter the atmosphere after 3 days, depending on the weather around Florida. So not just an up and down. This is a 3-day trip. Let's see here. What's the Gilligan's Island theme song? Let's hope history, okay. The Gilligan Island thing was not, I can't remember how the song went, but it's kind of triggered a flashback to my youth. But anyway, they're going to be up there for 3 days. And so very, very cool. Dropped the first $100 million of a $200 million fundraiser for St. Jude's as part of this. So congratulations to that team. Wow. What a blast they're going to have. For sure. Hopefully just an actual rocket ride up and not a real blast. Okay, so I'm all kinds of puns tonight. I better be careful. So we'll keep an eye on that launch on Wednesday. Steve Wozniak's latest moonshot is a private space company. Woz promised to share more about privateer space later this week. Well, he unfortunately, other than to promise his company would be unlike the others, Woz didn't provide many more details. So we'll see. A teaser, Privateer, released on YouTube, mentions the startup was co-founded by former app engineering Alex Fielding. Wozniak and Fielding have collaborated frequently over the years. Back in 2002, they co-founded a company called Wheels of Zeus, which worked on GPS smart tags. Wozniak later sat on the board of directors of Ripcord Networks, a robotic startup Fielding founded after the Wheel of Zeus shut down in 2006. So Privateer said we'll have more to share on the upcoming Amos Tech Conference in Maui. The schedule started on September 14th. So maybe we'll be able to fly Woz space flights. Fake Walmart press release. This is about press release. When I do a press release for my company, I have to go through 4 or 5 steps to verify who I am, verify our website, verify. It's just like they don't want any fake press releases going out. But someone falsely claimed that Walmart would start accepting the cryptocurrency Litecoin, and it jumped by 20%. And it was a fake. So now they're under investigation. How did this get out? They didn't even have a valid email address. So I don't understand how this happens today. I really, really don't. I really, really don't. Apple has released iOS 14.8 and Mac OS 11.6 to address Pegasus spyware hack. Please, if you're a Mac user, update all of your computers immediately. The company recommends all users download the update and put it in place. I'll be executing that after the show tonight on all the machines here. So make sure you update your phones and your Mac devices because, yes, Macs can be hacked, right? All right. Oracle falls short on the revenue as it ramps up on cloud investment. So Oracle shares fell as much as 3% in extended training. Here's how the company did. Earnings $1.3 per share, adjusted to 97 cents. As expected by analysts, revenue $9.73 billion versus $9.77. Revenue increased 4% year over year in the quarter, which ended August 31st, but they had a loss. Or the earnings were not a loss, but they had less earnings than they thought they would. And they say it's because they're investing in the cloud. That's why they didn't make as much money. Oh, okay. Intuit, and I use MailChimp for our corporate stuff. Intuit's going to buy email marketing company MailChimp for $12 billion in cash and stock. So I don't know what I feel about this. I'm not always a big fan of everything Intuit does. So we will see. But congratulations to that team. They do have a good SIPs. I use it for all the emails for the podcast awards. We use it for everything Blueberry does. Yeah. So Taco Bell tests a 30-day taco subscription to drive more frequent visits. Taco Bell is testing a 30-day pass to get a free taco daily in Tucson, Arizona. Customers can redeem their Taco Lovers Pass until November 24th. Burger King and Panera Bread have created similar programs of pass for coffee to drive more frequent visits. The newest subscription isn't to stream TV shows. It is to be able to get food. The cost of pass ranges from $5 to $10 a month. Why would I pay? What deal do I get? Burger King launched a coffee subscription for $5 a month in 2019. I didn't even know that. Panera Bread had unlimited coffee and tea for $8.99 a month. Like Burger King, Panera Bread, Taco Bell is likely hoping to drive regular visits to restaurants for customers. The pass could encourage more customers to download and use Taco Bell app. Taco Bell's loyalty members spend 35% more on their visits compared with their spending habits before joining the program. So we'll see where this goes. I don't know if it would drive my visits to Taco Bell. So last week was the big dealio case resolution between Epic and Apple. And so as Jen has written over at Geek News Central, Epic has already appealed the ruling in the Epic versus Apple case. The judge basically found in favor of Apple 9 of the 10 counts. The judge required Epic to pay damages in the amount of 30% of $12 million in revenue that Epic Games collected from users on the Fortnite app on iOS through Epic Direct Payment between August and October 2020, plus 30% of any such revenue Epic Games collected from November 1, 2020. One could reasonably assume that it is the part that Epic doesn't like. On the day of the ruling was released, Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney tweeted, "Today's ruling isn't a win for developers or for consumers. Epic is fighting for fair competition among in-app payment methods and app stores for 1 billion consumers." So basically, the part that they were successful in is basically different. Well, it's not. They're creating a junction allowing developers to link to their own purchasing mechanism. The only part of the ruling is that they have to go through the Apple in-app payment system, which still will take a 30% cut. So Apple really did not lose here. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes. But Apple still holds the juggernaut on taking 30% of people's revenue because it's purchased through their phone and through their store. What else do I have? What's the last thing I have? Well, that's it. That's all I have for content today. Let me go ahead and look at email. I think there's a few emails that came in. And let me see if I've got any here. I think I mentioned it last. Oh, while I was out, Grant says, "Hey, Todd, OnlyFans walk back their decision to ban explicit content." Well, that 30% on $2 billion or whatever it was, I guess they decided they didn't want to lose that money. Not surprising at all. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get wrapped up here. Geeknews@gmail.com. Geeknews@gmail.com is a place to send your comments about the show. Thank you for all the insiders that continue to support the show through your $2, $5, $10, $15, $20, or $25 monthly payments. Of course, you can always make a one-time donation at geeknewscentral.com/insider. Lots happening, lots of moving parts. I hope you've been watching my Facebook page because we're moving strong and a whole bunch of stuff here at Blueberry. Very, very exciting time for the company and the podcasting space as a whole. So, but anyway, be back with you on Thursday. It is going to be an interesting couple of weeks because here's the schedule. Normal show week this week, normal show week next week, and then September 27th will be a normal show. The 30th is International Podcast Day, and it's the day I do the Podcast Awards. So my plan is to have the Podcast Awards ceremony at 9 p.m. Eastern. So I should be able to do a normal show and then go into the awards ceremony because it's pre-recorded at 9 p.m. on the 30th, no problem. But I leave on October 3rd because I have to be in Honolulu October 5th for a dermatologist appointment to get a spot removed from my back. So probably in October, there's going to be, here's the thing though, on the 7th, I fly out of Honolulu and I go to Las Vegas for the, I got to look at that flight. I fly out on the 7th to go to Las Vegas for NAB. And I'm in NAB all the way through the 13th. And then I fly back to Michigan on the 14th. So maybe I'll course Kirk into doing a few episodes while I'm in transit when I can't actually do a show. So, October's kind of, the first week or two of October looks kind of weird. The first regular show will be back. Well, see, I get back on the 14th. So anyway, we'll play this by ear, but this should be the last business travel I do for the year. But again, I'll fly out on October 3rd to Honolulu, have this procedure done on the 5th. Hopefully no big follow-up. That's why I'm staying for the 6th. And then I fly out sometime on the 7th, maybe in the morning or night. I can't remember. But be in Vegas until the 13th actually for NAB, and then fly back to Michigan the 14th. So that's kind of what's going on. But regular shows from now, but it's going to be kind of a crazy schedule here for the next couple of weeks, and then even more kind of crazy schedule. But we'll keep the ball rolling here with normal episodes. Get you out of here. geeknews@gmail.com. Everyone, thanks for hanging out. Take care. We'll see you next time here on the Geek News Central podcast. All right. Bye-bye.